So hi guys! Okay, for today's video, I will present to you the rules of softball. For the first rule is the definition. Next is the illegal re-entry. The section 46 is, ibig sabihin, the starting player returns to game a second time after twice being substitute. So, a starting player returns to the game after being substitute but not in the original position in the offensive lineup. So, ibig sabihin kapag illegal re-entry. O, sa illegal re-entry naman is, halimbawa ako is from sa offensive team. Sa offensive team is kailangan, halimbawa, batter ako. So, number 1. So, once is nag-substitute ako. And dapat yung ka-substitute ko rin, yung papasok is dapat doon din na position. Doon na position or doon din siya na assign pa, kumbaga. Doon pa rin siya na number. Ganun siya. So, next is the illegal substitute. So, player who has entered the game without being announced to the umpire. So, big sabihin, illegal substitute. Big sabihin, ito yung player na, halimbawa yung player na hindi na-announce or nasasabi yung kanyang pangalan sa ating umpire. So, that's it. Next is the section 48, the illegally batted ball. So, illegally batted ball, of course, when the batter hits the ball, fair or foul ball. So, illegally, big sabihin, kapag na-hit yung bola, fair ball man yan or foul ball. That's it. The section 49 is illegally cuff ball. So, illegally cuff ball, of course, when a fielder catches a batted, thrown or pitch ball, which is cap mask, glove, or any part of his uniform while in discharge from its proper place. So, next is the section 50, the ineligible player. So, ineligible player is a player who may not longer legally participate in the game because the umpire has removed him. So, an ineligible player may no longer participate as a player but may continue in the game as a coach. So, ineligible player, big sabihin, siya na yung player na hindi siya pwedeng mag-join sa laro. Pwede lang siya maging, halimbawa, pwede siya maging coach, gano'n, sa laro, gano'n siya. So, next is the section 51, the ineligible replacement player. So, the ineligible replacement player is a player who does not enter the game or replace a player who must not leave the game to attend to an injury that has caused bleeding. So, big sabihin sa ineligible replacement player is, dapat hindi siya ang player hindi dapat papasok or hindi siya pwede mag-replace ng isang player kung hindi naman talaga na-injury na cause of bleeding ang isang manlalaro. So, next is the section 52 is the in-flight. So, in-flight describe any batted, thrown, or pitch ball that has not yet touched the ground or some objects other than the fielder. So, yun siya yung in-flight. Next is the section 53 is the in jeopardy. So, in jeopardy, in terms of indicating that the ball is in play and an offensive player may be put out. Next is the section 54 is the infield. So, infield is a portion of the field territory, field in the field territory that includes areas normally covered by the infielders. That is the infield. So, next is the section 55 with the infielder. So, infielder is defensive player. The infielder natin. Yung mga defensive player including mga pitchers, catchers, who is generally positioned anywhere near or within the lines of the bases path forming the fair territory. So, yun siya. Next is the section 56 is the Infield Fly. Sa Infield Fly is a fair fly ball not including the drive or line drive or an attempt in bunt that can be caught by an infielder with ordinary effort when first, second, and third bases are occupied before the two are out. Infield fly. Next is the section 57 is the inning. Ito yung inning, ibig sabihin, ang inning ay tinatawag na halimbawa sa first round ng game. The portion of the game within which the teams alternate ng offense at saka defense natin. In which there are 3 outs for each team, a new inning begins immediately after the final out of the previous inning. So, yan. Next is the intentional base on balls. So, intentional base on balls is of course when the defensive teams desires to place the batter on first base without the requirements to deliver the foul pitch For pitch balls, this is referred to as intentional walk or the ball is dead. So next is the section 59 is the intentionally drop ball. Is a fair fly ball including a line drive or a bunt with less than 2 outs and the runner on the first base. So which can be cuffed by infielder with ordinary effort and the infielder intentionally drop after it controlled with a hand or a glove. And a drop ball or a fly ball allowed to bounce shall not be considered as having intentionally dropped. So next is the section 60 is the interference. Interference is the act of an offensive player or a team that impedes or hinders or confuses the defensive player attempting to execute the play. So an umpire who impedes the catcher's attempt to throw out the runner who is off the base. So the umpire runner being hit by fair batted ball prior to its passing and infielder, including the pitchers, and the spectators who reaches into the playing field and impedes a playing or fielder playing the ball or makes contact with the ball that a fielder is attempting to play on. That is the interference. So next is the leaping for the fast pitch. So sa leaping is an act of pitcher that causes him to be airborne or has initial move and push from the pitcher's place. So big sabihin yung momentum niya is built by forward movement. Forward movement of the pitchers causes the entire body including the both pivot and stepping or non-pivot foot to be in the air. At the same time, moving forward or moving towards the home plate. So big sabihin, yung leaping is ito yung motions or yung ating motions or yung momentum ng ating pitchers. Big sabihin, may motion siyang gagawin in order to deliver his pitch. Kumbaga, naalis siya sa kanyang home plate or pitcher's plate natin. Sa fast pitch ito siya. Next is the section 62 is the legal touch or the tag. So, legal tag or legal touch is an action of fielder is touching. Ayan. Action of fielder in touching. Ayan siya. Next is the section 63 is the legally cuffed ball. Legally cuffed ball occurs when a fielder catches a batted, thrown or pitched ball provided it is which or is not cuffed in the fielder's cap, helmet, mask, or pocket or other part of his uniform. It must be cuffed and firmly held in the hands or ang glove. So, big sabihin, kapag malimbawa natag ka or na-cuff ka, sabihin mo sa yun, big sabihin, dapat it must be cuffed sa hands man or the gloves. Yun siya. Next is the section 61, the line drive. Sa line drive is a ball flight that is batted sharply and directly into the playing field. That is the line drive. Ibig sabihin, pag nag-hit ka ng bola is direct siya sa halimbawa, direct in the playing field. Yan. Next is the section 65 is the lineup and the lineup card. So sa lineup card, ito yung sa mga lineup ng mga players so currently involved in the playing like the offensive and saka defensive. Yung mga nakalist na players. Yan siya. Next is the section 66 is the obstruction. So obstruction is the act of defensive player, a team member who hinders or prevents a batter from striking at on hitting a pitch ball. So halimbawa sa obstruction, ito yun siya. Yung halimbawa, pag pitch pa lang ng bola is may nagkakaroon na siya ng interaction between the offensive at saka defensive team. Yan siya. Next is the section 67 is the offensive player only for the fast pitch. So offensive player is a player that is batting order other than the flex for whom the designated player is playing defense. The offensive player continues to play defense or offense but not play defense. So big sabihin, ang offensive player natin is from another term siya or another player from a batting order rather than the flex player. So next is the offensive team. So offensive team is the team at bat. Offensive, sila yung mga magbabat na naman. That is the offensive team. Next is the section 69 is the official equipment. So official equipment is considered to be any equipment like bats, mga gloves, mga balls, helmets, etc. currently used by the defensive or offensive team. That is the official equipment. Next is the section 70 is the on-deck batter. On-deck batter, big sabihin is the offensive player whose name follows the batter in the batting order. On-deck, ibig sabihin, siya yung kasunod ng ating batter runner. Parang karon yung batter natin, batting runner natin. On-deck. Yan siya. Next, so on-deck batter, ibig sabihin siya yung unang tatira ng bola natin. Halimbawa, sa line of cards is number 1, o siya yung on-deck batter. Next is the on-deck circle. Section 71. On-deck circle is the area where the on-deck batter may warm up and takes practice swing while waiting for the turn into the batter's back. So, siya yung katusunod ng on-deck batter. On-deck batter, then on-deck circle. Next is the section 72 is the 1 meter or 3-foot line. The 3-foot line is the area that lasts half distance between home at saka first base, whether the batter must run it to avoid being called out for interfering with the thrown ball from the home plate area, or the fielder attempts to take such a throw while running to first base. Dapat 1 meter 3-foot line, big sabihin sa pag-throw ng bola, big sabihin 1, 2, 3 at 1 meter and 3 foot ang steps. Next is section 73 is the option play. So option plays is when the offensive coach or manager is given the choice of taking the enforcement of the legal action or the result of the player, such as options include the catcher's obstructions, use of illegal glove, an illegal substitution, illegal pitch, illegal pitcher return to the game and pitching, a female batter, and to walk from the co-ed slow pitch only yan siya. So next is the section 74 is the outfield. Outfield is the portion of the field that is outside the diamond. Ito yun siya yung portion na out of the diamond na siya. Big sabihin, malayo na siya sa diamond. Big sabihin, out of the field na siya. Formed by the baselines or the area not normally covered by the infielder and within the 4 lines beyond first and third bases and boundaries of the ground. That's it. Next is the section 75 is the overslide. Overslide is the act of an offensive player when a runner he overslides a base he is attempting to reach. Ito yung sliding. Yan. Marami tayo nakikita dito sa halimbawa sa mga players niya siya, sa mga offensive team. Pag halimbawa nag-attempt siya na to go on, halimbawa tumakbo siya sa halimbawa yung first base, tumakbo siya sa second base, ito yung ginagamit nila minsan, overslide, to touch the plate or yung base natin siya. Next, ito yung halimbawa technique din ng mga offensive player natin pag runner siya. Next is the overthrow. Overthrow is a play in which ball is thrown from one fielder to another, resulting in the ball going beyond the boundary lines of the playing field or becoming black. So overthrow, big sabihin nagpass na siya sa iyo. Halimbawa nag-throw yung catchers natin to or halimbawa first base, nagtapon siya sa ating pitch or catcher. Overthrow, ganyan tawag, naglagpas sa iyo yung tinapong bola. That's it. So next is the section 77 is the pass ball. This is fast pitch. Fast ball is pitch that could have been held or controlled by the catcher with ordinary effort. Next is the pitch. Ayun nga. Pitch is the one performed by the pitcher delivering the ball to the batter. Yun ang pitch. Section 79 is pitcher circles of pitcher circles are area within the 2.44 meter or 8 feet the pitcher's plate. The lines are considered within the circle. Next is the section 80 is the pivot foot. So pivot foot, ito yung halimbawa actions ng ating pitchers. Next is the play ball. So play ball is term used by the plate umpire indicate that the play shall begin or be resumed. Ito yung sinasabi ng ating mga umpire kapag mag-start na ang laro. So next is the pre-game meeting. Pre-game meeting is a meeting held the home plate area at the predetermined time between the umpires and the head coaches, managers, or team representatives of the respective teams. So, ito, pre-game meeting is ibig sabihin, before mag-start ang play, yung mga coaches, may umpires, nagmi-meeting sila kung what should they do in playing, or isasabihin nila yung mga rules sa laro. Next is the section 83 is the protest. Protest separate from the appeal, an action of defensive or offensive team. Ito siya. Next is the section 84 is the quick return pitch. The quick return pitch is one made by the pitcher with the obvious or attempt to catch the batter off balance. This would be before the batter takes the start's position the batter's backs or while he is still off balance as a result of previous pitch. Next is the re-entry. Re-entry is the act of any of the starting players returning to the game after being legally or illegally substituted. So next is the replacement player. Replacement player, ito yung a player required to enter the game for a defined period of time to replace a player who must leave on the game attend to injury that cause in bleeding. Next is the section 88 is the runner. Runner, big sabihin at team bat or at a player of the team at bat who had finished a turn at bat. Big sabihin, pag natapos siya nag-hit ng bola, natawag na siyang runner. Pag nakapunta na siya sa first base, ayan siya. Kapag pagpupunta naman siya sa second base, that is called the runner. Next is section 89 is the slap hit for the fast pitch. So slap hit is a batted ball that has been struck with a controlled short chopping motion rather than with a full swing. So next is the squeeze play from the fast pitch. The squeeze play is play when the offensive team with the runner on third base attempts to score the runner by means of batting contacting the ball. That is. Next is the section 39 is the starting players. Starting players is the players listed the official lineup given the umpires in chief and or the plate umpire. Starting players ito yung mga nakalist sa lineup card. Next is section 92 is stealing. So stealing is the act of runner attempting to advance during or after a pitch to the batter. Stealing is not allowed in slow pitch. So big sabihin, ito lang siya, ang stealing hindi siya pwede sa slow pitch. Pwede siya, ang stealing kasi is from fast pitch lang siya. Pag mag-attempt ka ng mag-attempt to advance during or after the pitch to the batter. Yan siya. Section 1393 is the strike zone. Strike zone, big sabihin, is doon sa kapag sa fast pitch is a level of chest at saka sa knee. Yan siya yung strike zone natin. Next is the 94 is substitute. Ibig sabihin, ito yung player na substitute is less than the official lineup card. Hindi siya non-starting player siya or starting player has left the game once or may illegally return to the lineup. So next is section 95 is the tagging up. Tagging up is the action of runner returning to the base or remaining on his base before the legally advances on a batted fly ball that is first touched by a fielder, not be confused with the action of the fielder tagging a baser or runner. Next is the team member. Team member includes the persons authorized on the sit team bench. Next, the section 97 is the temporary runner. Temporary runner is the player who may run for the catcher of record from the preceding half inning who is now on base with 2 outs. That is the temporary runner. Pag halimbawa, temporary na sabihin, halimbawa nakatapa ka na sa first base or second base tapos may 2 out na kayo, so you are called the temporary runner. Pag hindi pa kayo time tapping position. So next is the section 98 is the throw. Throw is an act performed by fielder when throwing the ball to another fielder. Pag throw ng bola, pagtapon. Next is the section 99 is the time. Time is the term used by the umpire to order the suspension of play which the ball is dead. Next is the section 100 is the trap ball. Trap ball is legally batted fly ball or line drive that hits the ground or fence prior to being cuffed or legally batted fly ball that is cuffed against the fence with the glove or bare hand, or the thrown ball to any base or force out, which is cuffed with the glove over the ball on the ground rather than the other the ball. So sa fast pitch, a pitch ball that touches the ground on a strike prior to the catcher catching it. So next is the section 101 is the triple play. Triple play is continuous action play by the defense on which 3 offense players are put out. Yan siya. Next is the turn at bat. Turn at bat begins when a player first enters the box and continues until the batter is put out or becomes a batter runner. So turn at bat, yung tawag doon. Next is section 103 is the wild pitch for the fast pitch. Wild pitch is a pitch so high, so slow, or so wide of the plate that the catchers cannot or does not stop and control with ordinary effort. Ibig sabihin, very wild, very strong, very forceful ang iyong pitching. Next is the wild throw. So, wild throw, ibig sabihin naman is a play in which a ball is thrown from one fielder to another and cannot be cuffed and controlled, is not blocked, and remains in play. So, ibig sabihin, ang wild throw, ibig sabihin, parang overthrow din siya na hindi siya, mahirap siyang kunin or mahirap siyang i-cuff yung ball. So, last is the section 105 is the withdrawn player. Withdrawn player is a player forced to leave the game or the lineup in accordance with the replacement player ruling. So, that's it for the withdrawn player. So, that's all for the rule number 1, that is the definition. So, sa definition, may 105 tayong ginagamit or terms used in softball. So, that's all. Thank you.